Heresy, a word wrapped in fear, but forged in control. Not divine control, human control. Let's talk about it. The word heresy comes from the Greek heresis, which originally meant choice or to choose. That's right, it wasn't a sin, it was sovereignty. In ancient Greece, heresis was neutral. It referred to the act of choosing your own school of thought, whether philosophy, politics, or medicine. It meant you didn't just inherit beliefs, you explored, you chose. It was intellectual and spiritual autonomy. So why did it become dangerous? When organized religion, especially the early Christian church, gained political power, choice became a threat. Because a sovereign thinker is a danger to any system built on obedience, suddenly, heresis wasn't exploration, it was rebellion, and rebellion had to be punished. This is the truth. Everything else is false, dangerous, even evil. So when someone said, maybe the divine is within, maybe scripture is metaphor, maybe power doesn't need permission, it wasn't just a different opinion, it was labeled a crime against God. What were they actually choosing? People were choosing to think for themselves, to connect to source directly, to interpret sacred texts mystically, to reject fear-based theology, to awaken Christ consciousness without a title. They were choosing truth over tradition, freedom over fear, and sovereignty over submission. But that kind of choosing exposed that the gatekeepers weren't God, and that made them afraid. That's why the word changed. What began as freedom to explore became blasphemy for questioning. The institution didn't fear heretics because they were wrong. They feared them because they might awaken others. What heresy really means today. People don't use heresy to guard truth. They use it to guard their ego. This challenges what I've always believed. This makes me uncomfortable. This might unravel everything I built my identity around. So instead of sitting with the discomfort, they slap the word heresy on it as a shield for the unexamined self. The hard truth most don't want to admit: heresy isn't always rebellion. It's often clarity. People call it dangerous when it exposes what they never dared to question. But when someone builds their identity on being right about God, any new truth feels like an attack. So they call it heresy, but really it's fear dressed up as faith. The greatest truth tellers in history were labeled heretics: Socrates, Galileo, Yeshua, mystics, prophets, anyone who dared to see beyond the box they were handed. They didn't stop being heretics, they just stopped apologizing for it. So what if heresy is a signpost that you're getting close? What if heresy is just your soul remembering what the world taught you to forget? What if the questions that make others panic are the exact ones that set you free? Don't fear being labeled a heretic. Fear never asking, what if they were wrong? Heresy isn't the fire to avoid. It's the fire that burns away illusion. Don't shrink your spirit for their comfort. Don't call your clarity confusion. Don't betray your soul just to belong. Because the real heresy is pretending to be asleep when your spirit came here to wake up. Welcome back to your sovereignty.